My body is ready for this Suki episode. Yeah, it's an all-out war, and Suki's in control. I actually thought it was really genius. The more I think about it, the more I like it. The fact that he didn't block it there, but forced it to Nishinoya. You know it's going to be a big episode because of that recap. They had to do a recap just for the one previous episode that follows this one. Suki, I don't know, man. He's such an interesting character. Like, he continues to surprise me because he sort of develops without developing. That's not the right way to put it. I was expecting more of a demeanor shift, I think. His demeanor never really changes. He's just Suki, and you learn to love him. You learn to appreciate him. I think a lot of his development comes from something like overcoming the fear of commitment. Like, he does care deeply, or he naturally wants to care deeply. He's just afraid to care because of the immense challenge that would bring and the risk of failure and pain. So it's a pleasure to see him actually start to like grab volleyball and by extension life by the ball, by the volleyball. 22-22. Damn, it's a close game. How many times am I going to say close game in this series? Episode 4, the Halo Around the Moon. Suki-centric title. Look at that face. It's always the same face, but somehow it contains different emotions depending on the circumstance. He ganged up on him. Oh, extra points to her for continuing the bird metaphor. That was a 2 for 1. Could Suki be the cornerstone of this victory? Yeah, force him into narrow lanes, and then trust in everyone. Trust in each person to play their role. One of Karasuno's best strengths. Say that again. Still holding out judgment. I feel like he might be a scout or something. Or maybe he's just a jerk. Who knows? Watch this be a fake. Alright, not a fake, but... Oh god, that was horrifying. Why did that happen so quickly? The respect they give his serves. But he's earned it. Daichi just constantly putting his physical health on the line. Revenge. Stop him. Fake? Oh, he's gonna dump it. Well, they read that so well. Look at Suki. Oh no. Wait, I mean, I don't know. It's still encouraging. It's still encouraging. You can see them getting better and better with each play, even their failures, or even the points lost. It's all good. It's all good. Damn, that's just always so inspiring. Well, good news is we've been in this situation many times. We're comfortable here. Everything has been building towards this moment. You think match point is going to stop Karasuno? He too is reading Suki's neutral facial expressions and being hit with the variety of emotions. Trust in Tanaka. Knew it. Always count on this guy. And he's the best celebrations too. Hanada getting up there. Damn, like his analysis is just growing by leaps and bounds. I don't know, every time it's fun. It's exciting. Simple dump. Here goes some dump revenge for you. Return dump. Kageyama took that personally. Called him king. That never stopped me before. Not kidding. I feel like so much of it is an emotional battle. It's a lot of pressure. Yeah, for two teams that are this good, victory and defeat comes down to the margins. Yes. Oh, I hate you. Sorry, we got a chance ball. Do your thing, Hinata. There it is, he's doing his thing. He's doing the thing. Might be going to someone totally different. I mean, honestly, like, who's the real ace? Yeah, it's a team thing, Hinata opened that up. But Tanaka's just like... You weirdo duo. Had to drop that in there, huh? I don't know, Suki for captain at one point. He's taking a real leadership role, which is super exciting for someone who, you know, kind of maintained this air of I don't give a crap about anything for so long. I think sometimes you can tell a lot by the terminology people use. The fact that he told them there's no need to panic means they're panicking. We don't need to let them demolish us into tiny, dissolving, worthless pieces of crap that we all know we are. To all you non-believers, what happened? Been here before. Been here before. Even that's not necessarily true, but yeah, it would be a big disadvantage to be down 2 sets. Not on both sides of it, but not enough. The hustle on this kid. Battle for survival right now. Leave it to Kageyama. Oh, that was so well done. That looks so beautiful. The trust that took between the two of them. It's always funny sometimes to get like Hinata and Kageyama from a different perspective, because we spend so much time with them. They're kind of, you know, as Suki said, they're a weird duo. They're very eccentric, but they have these moments where they just crush it, and you get the perspective of being the other team, and they just look terrifying. Such a good contrast. Damn, Nishinoya again. Yeah. They all are. They all are. What? Where did you get those numbers? I feel like it's this attitude that the team shares that's going to make all the difference. Sure, Torizawa, like, they're not used to this situation. Not used to losing. I mean, they're going to fight too, but... Oh, so you could just feel him waiting to rush back in. He's waiting for this. That's going to be so key when he actually does. This is so critical to this whole thing. It's a very Star Wars moment, you know? And that is why you fail. But what? Whittle them down. I mean, he got an insight. He found like a core element of identity in volleyball, but also just maybe Suki, you know? Endurance, calm, calculated persistence, not being flashy, but being effective. Nothing for free. Got the whole court. Hell yeah. One more point. You know what would be great if this happened? Suki got a defensive block score. Hinata wouldn't have been able to get it at all. There you go. There you go. That just clicked. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in a way, Suki's insight and strategy for dealing with them plays right into Ushiwaka's weakness, or the team's weakness. Ushiwaka just wants to blast through everyone. That was not the glorious victory I was expecting. I mean, Ushijima's a competitor. I was saying he wants it. He wants to blast through, but also he will. So it makes him so cool. That was a statement. We had all this momentum building. Synchronized attack! And you must call it out when you do it. Do we have your attention yet? Keep plugging away. Nothing for free. Nothing easy. Here it comes. Yes! There we go. Oh, he did the thing. Yes. Oh my god. I was expecting it, but it's every bit as satisfying as I thought it would be. Does he even know how to process that? Yeah, I'm tearing up. What the hell? Ooh. Imagine Suki. Never really seemed to care. Oh, it's way more than one block. The moment. Oh god, that was such a long and satisfying setup. Yeah, let it all out. There we go. Yeah, everyone gets it. This is like one of the most hype moments ever of the team. And his brother's watching too. He was. But you know, it's a big credit to him because he could have He could have handled that totally differently. People who are afraid of losing, there's a way out of that that's really easy and unchallenging. I think the opposite of the direction Suki took, which is just pretending like it doesn't matter. It doesn't, you don't care. It's just a club. If you can convince yourself you're not playing, you can't lose. But, the reality is, while it's perfectly okay to not play certain games, so you don't have to play or win every game. You want to choose your game carefully. If it's a situation where actually you do care, it's a game that you do want to win, but you're telling yourself the game doesn't matter to avoid having to have the growth because of how challenging it is and how painful it would be to fail or have repeated failures on the way to success. And a success is not even guaranteed. That's sad. And that's going to eat at you over time. Whatever the game or games you're playing are, and to make it explicitly clear, I'm not talking about volleyball. I'm talking about any endeavor, anything that you care about. Even if it's like just generally your life. You got to pick something and you got to care about it and you got to take the pain and challenges that brings. I think that's part of what makes Suki's conflict so inspiring and amazing, is that you can feel he's kind of pulled in two directions. He does care. He likes volleyball. He wants to like it. He cares deeply about his brother. He really looked up to him as a hero. He's a competitive person. He likes winning. He recognizes other people's efforts, wants to contribute, but would have to sacrifice things that make him feel safe and secure and give him kind of an air of respect that he's kind of like above it, right? The irony being that you're not really above anything by belittling it, especially, as I said, if it's something that deeply you actually want, if you would only be honest with yourself. Took out his whole arm and shoulder. So again with the weirdo thing. I mean, yeah, it was a team effort for sure, but it was also Suki who blocked that. It's both. He is. That's alright, you'll learn to love him, as we'll have. He's been hunting for it. I have to agree, it was not just 1 point. I mean, he's still Suki. I mean, yeah, he's not wrong, but also it was amazing. It was great. It was better than I ever wanted and dreamed of and hoped for. I knew it'd be great. I've been talking about I have a feeling Suki's gonna block his shot. How glorious would it be if he's blocked his shot? Maybe this is Suki's moment that's been prophesied since as early as training camp in season 2. Seeing it was a different thing entirely. It's just great. Amazing. Because again, like a lot of things in the show, it represents so much more than volleyball. It's like overcoming that natural pull down, continuing to fight and then channeling that energy and getting a taste of victory, getting a moment. Sometimes these things only exist in moments, but that's fine. The lessons kind of persist. And the growth, I think, is something that's non-linear. It'll come and go. There'll be peaks and valleys. Sometimes you need to learn lessons multiple times. Sometimes you'll learn a lesson distinctly and then you'll forget it or you will stop practicing it over time. But the good news is that you get somewhere once, you feel something once, it's easier to get back to and it gets easier and easier to stay there. This was one of those moments for Suki of just absolute actualization, real connectedness to himself and life and his task in one beautiful moment that will be with him for the rest of his life, in both the memory and just whatever he gets out of it in terms of what he takes forward with him in his personality. Another thing I like about this episode is that it's very much about Suki. It's very much an individual effort and his acclimating to the other team and noticing things, his IQ growing as he applied his puzzle solving abilities. But it's also very clear that he couldn't have done it alone, and those two things are not mutually exclusive. He wouldn't have been able to set that up without support from his fellow blockers, but also Nishinoya waiting in the wings. Wings probably the wrong term for volleyball, and so it ends up being a snapshot of something that I think is great about the team and the show in general. It's both individual journeys for them as well as a team journey. That's something that gives a lot of weight to their games and it gives some reality to the fact that they would be doing well against the number one team. There's a thematic underpinning to their victory that's not just kind of like plot armor, let's call it. The main character team wins. It's like, no, the reason that they're the main characters in the first place is these very qualities that the show's developing. We're not picking a team arbitrarily and then making them win because we want to see the main team win. Why do I feel like we won even though we didn't win? Yet, again, many games, right? But it feels like a big turning point for Karasuno and this amazing game with Shiro Torizawa.